Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Cinema.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at Rebirth.
This is a brand new game from Reiner Knizia. It is on Kickstarter now for just a few more days, so hopefully if you are on the fence, this video will show you if this game is going to be for you or not.
It plays from 2 to 4 players in 60 minutes according to the box.
Yes, so obviously this is going to be a prototype. Everything like the views are going to be prototype views.
Prototype views.
It's going to be prototype. We played it like it was a prototype.
Yes.
It is a prototype. Everything is prototype, so just you know that there can be changes. I know the colors are going to be slightly different when the game actually arrives. And all of that, obviously, it was sent from the publisher, or else it would have been kind of hard to get.
We made it ourselves.
We are going to briefly go into an overview. I don't usually do a rules overview for games. I'm going to do it now to show you how simple this game is. On your turn, you're going to have one tile in your hand. That one tile you're going to place on the board. If it is an energy or a food farm, you're going to place it on an energy or a food farm spot or a blank spot. When you do, let's say I place it over here, I'm going to score as many points as I have that kind of farm in adjacent groups. It's going to be 4 points. If I place the food farm, it's going to be exactly the same. So I place there, I get 1 point. These settlements, if you place the settlements, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, or 4 houses on them. You place them out in settlements. If that doesn't completely complete a settlement, it's not going to score anything. If it does complete a settlement, it is going to score depending on the size of the settlement and who is there. Then, with the first player who plays adjacent to a castle is going to place a castle there, and then that's going to be an adjacent area majority. The player who, if somebody comes along and they have more pieces around it, they're going to change it out with their castle. That's going to be worth 5 points at the end of the game. The first time you place adjacent to a cathedral, you're going to draw a scoring card that's going to show you either a cathedral bonus, which is just 3 points, or another cathedral bonus, or a mission that's going to show you all of the time a spot you want to have the most pieces around. And there's a couple of other ones like the most ports, the most of different things. Those are going to be points at the end of the game. You're going to play until everybody has played all their pieces, and the player with the most points is going to be the winner. That is basically every single rule to the game.
Yes.
You could go and play the game now and just check the rulebook if there are a couple of things you're wondering about it. So that is how simple the game is. We're going to start with, as always, the things that we do shorter in these videos, the artwork, the components, and the rulebook. You can begin because you are the master of the eyes.
Because it's a prototype, but the game will have these components will be rewood.
Yes.
A component that we got to know in Cathedral, which was, I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to that. These are going to be cardboard, and I think the artwork is nice. It's easy to see where everything is. Sometimes I'm ignoring a cathedral. I think those are the most like blending into the green on the map, but other than that, I'm very happy about the looks of this game.
Yeah, there's also going to be a different map on the other side of the board when we're not going to put this because it's not on there, but it is there. The rulebook, it is a prototype rulebook, but I'm going to say like I'm thinking that most of the wording for the rulebook is complete, and it's a very clear and concise rulebook. As you saw, the rules aren't hard, so it's not a hard rulebook to be able to write in a concise way, and they managed to do that. We have played a game.
Yes, we have played a game with 2 and 4 players, and we have spent between 20 and 40 minutes.
What? What do you say? The box says 60 minutes.
Yes, it's not usually that way around. It's usually that the games take longer time than advertised on the box, but in this case, all of the plays we've had has been shorter, and I don't see like a scenario where we will spend the full 60 minutes, and I'm very happy about the playtime. Let's say that the average was 30 minutes. I think that is very doable with all player counts.
Yeah.
And that is how fast-paced I want this game to go.
Yeah, I think like if you manage to play this in 60 minutes, you're going to have like huge AP in your group because you're going to have one tile. You're going to have options. We can talk more about that, but you're not going to have like, okay, which of these actions am I going to do? Which of these? It's basically very strict what you're able to do on your turn. So I think like the 40 minutes, 10 minutes per player, basically is what we have spent, and that is a perfect amount of time. Let's talk about the game.
Yes.
As I already said, the gameplay is super simple. You're going to place a tile, and you are going to score that tile. And also only going to have one tile in your hand. How do you feel about that? Like, there's not that many choices. It's more of a what to do with this exact tile at this moment, making it tactical.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like Carcassonne to me. We have this house rule in Carcassonne where you draw your tile at the end of the round instead of the beginning, so you can think about what you want to do. And it's in this game as well. You draw it as the last thing you do, so you can plan what you want to do next. Of course, some things changes on the board. People can do things to ruin your plans or make new opportunities available to you. But I think like the snappy decisions with that one tile is easy, but it's enough to make me care about what I'm going to do.
Yeah, but also it makes it so that when it's my turn, 99% of the time, I know what I am going to do.
Yes.
Like, for example, in this example, if I were to do an energy farm, it wouldn't be hard for me to decide if I want to place it here, here, or here to score those points. In this example, I might want to place it here so that I overtake this so I can place out my castle, and hopefully I can get another one so I can secure my in that castle. So that is basically what makes this game interesting, that you have different goals that you are trying to do. You're trying to secure the castles.
Yes.
Because, like, for example, here there's only 5 places around it, so if I get 3, there's no way nobody can take that castle away from me, so I know that's going to be my castle. So, for example, if I do this, here is only 5 spaces around it, I know nobody can take that away from me. So then, the next time I get one of the energy farms, I have to decide, do I want these points? 5 points is good, so probably I would have it, let's say it's like this. Okay, do I want that? Or maybe have a 2 energy farm over here. Maybe I rather want to place it here, so I'm trying to take this castle. So you have these kind of things. And the game gets way better when people block each other.
Yes, because now in your example now, you focus on your own pieces, but here it's actually a 3-point, the beige player could build here. So to block the beige player off in some way could also be very good, because then you will prevent that big group from having, for example, over here. That's a lot of points.
Yeah, the first time we played 2 players, we didn't block each other. And it was not a fun game, especially for me, because you got like multiple of these with like 10. So every time you play, we get 10 points. Now we get 11 points. Now we get 12 points.
That's a lot of points.
The first time we played 2, I felt like, this might not be too good with 2. And then we played pretty confrontational, which still didn't feel like it was haha, because it's basically the game. It's and with haha, I mean, but take that. It's my way of saying take that. I felt like it was really good with 2.
Yeah.
In some ways, I felt that it was better in 2 than with 4. And in other ways, I felt like it was better with 4. I'm going to let you say what you think first, and then I'm going to say what I think.
I think overall it was better with 4, but the map got pretty full. You have some spaces that are blocked off with 2 players, so it feels balanced. But with 4, all of the spaces almost were taken. And I felt like it was harder to, predict what was going to happen on the board at all times. Well, if we are in a position now where the red player wants to block off blue, there is no guarantee that you will draw these for some time. So that is like the randomness in this game, the order you draw things in. But I don't mind that. I don't need to have like, first you draw this. I don't want that that information. I want it to be random. I like that.
Yeah, I think like for the player count, like and said in 2 players, it might be, I'm not getting anything, I need to block you. So that's a higher chance of somebody doing it. In 4 players, I kind of like the fact that let's say I drew the thing now that I need to block you, but also I could get myself a lot of points.
Yeah.
So in that position, it might be better for me just to get the points and hope that somebody else blocks you. So you kind of are in that, for example, I was in a position where I was like, okay, I'm going to block you now on my next turn because you're starting to get a lot of points. And then another player did it instead. I was like, that makes me happy. Now I can do this to score myself points instead. But when you play a while, like placing somewhere, only getting you 1 point, might also help you, or 2 points, for example, might also help you do other things. For example, I said secure these, but also when you place adjacent to the cathedrals, you are getting these cathedral scorings. For example, you can have one that says Blair Castle. Occupy more spaces adjacent to Blair Castle, and Blair Castle is over here. So now you want to focus on this to get the 5 bonus points, because also if you occupy the most there's a 99% like there's a couple of ways where it won't happen because you will win also a tie, but that you also will have the castle, so that's going to be like a 10-point swing for that card.
Yes.
So you're trying to do these you could get ones that are working very well together, and you could get ones that aren't working well together. You could also get like a lot of these cathedral bonuses, and since there's so few elements of the game, and you are going to place your pieces, I think these are essential. Like you need to try to go for some of these, because you will get them.
Yeah, and they're adjacent to a lot of the other things that you want to do. So naturally, you're going to get a few of those cards, but getting them early, I think, is a huge advantage.
Yes.
Drawing them as like in the last quarter of the game, then it feels more random, because then you can like, oh, I have focus, I have the majority around Blair Castle. What luck! Now got that, or it's already filled up, so I can't do anything about it now. So the earlier you get those cards, the more you can actually work towards making that happen.
I agree. Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you two questions actually, and one of them is I'm just gonna like basically because some of you might feel that I didn't answer my question what I liked about the 2 and the 4 players.
Yes.
I like both.
I'm still wondering.
I like both a lot. I think the 2-player, the head-to-head works very well because it's only I that can block you and only you that can block me. The 4 feels, it's a very nice and short 4-player game, but it feels kind of a bit more whimsical, like a bit even lighter with 4 basically, because you have like more things going on and it's kind of hard to see all the different things moving around. That is my feeling. So now I'm going to ask you the 2 questions.
Cool.
Question number 1, which I asked myself, and probably you, but this is a video, so I'm pretending I never asked you before, and that this isn't 100% scripted, and that is, did you feel this game was too light? Reiner Knizia makes a lot of lighter games, but I felt, for example, like he makes many of these like area. This is like, it has different couple of ways, area majority, but it's very tactical. But this feels lighter than, for example, Babylonia, than Yellow and Yangtze. Blue Lagoon is in the same vein as this for me.
Yeah, I feel like this is lighter, not in rules, because Blue Lagoon is very easy rules-wise, but you can easier make costly mistakes in Blue Lagoon.
Okay,
Here it feels like, okay, I put that piece there. Oh, I should have done that instead. Okay, but I'll do that with the next piece in the same category. So I feel like it's not too light, but this is absolutely one of the lighter designs that I've played with from Reiner.
Yeah, basically this is a game. Like you can teach it, if you teach it, you can teach it under 5 minutes, and you can play it. And as I said, like if you're two people, if you're two people, you can play this game 3 times in an hour, which is very short. With 3 people, you can teach it and play it twice in an hour. I mean, it's like
really good.
it's gonna be it's a very short game. I'm gonna answer the question as well.
Yes, good.
I think it's on the verge of being too light. I think it has just enough things there for it to be interesting.
Yeah.
But it's not what I'm gonna think about. Like when I'm playing, I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do this time next time.
No, not at all.
So I'm gonna then go into the next question, which is how do you feel about replayability for this game?
Well, I think that the mission cards, I'm going to call them that, it probably has a name.
Like Jake?
Yes. I think those are what makes the game very different from time to time. You're doing most of the same things, but the order that you draw things in are going to change what you do. What the other players are going for are going to change it up. But if you're thinking, this time I'm going to place all of this away from each other, don't do that, because it's not getting you any points. So you have these things that are obviously the better things to do. That's how you're supposed to play the game. But those little factors makes it interesting from time to time, either way.
But do you feel like you're playing, like, do you feel like you're doing another thing when you play it, like time number 4 and 5
No,
or
I'm
6?
doing the same puzzle.
So you have to enjoy that core puzzle,
Yes.
and it's not going to change. The thing is, it is going to change, because there is another part of the game board, which is, we haven't played it. We just read about it on Kickstarter, and it's saying to be like a little more advanced, so it's basically like an advanced mode, kind of. So that is what I'm hoping that will make this game elevated from what I really like it, but I don't love it the way it is now. That is basically my feeling of it, but I'm looking forward to play the other side of the board to see how that feels.
Yes.
So the weight, we've spoken about it, and who do you think it is for?
This is absolutely a light game.
Very much
If
so.
you like Knizia games, I think this is something you should look at with your eyes right now. And if you're looking for a quick filler that you can teach and play in 45 minutes,
Yes.
this is, I think, this game, the reason that I enjoy my time with it is that it's so easy to get to the table and so quick to get played.
Yeah.
If you had a game this simple with a lot of rules, a lot of setup, a lot of things that stood in the way for it, I would not enjoy it. But it's basically a bag of tokens.
Yeah.
Put out the board, teach in 5 minutes, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you can set it up in 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like you dump a bag, put the cards here, done. And I will say that as well. Like I feel like it's a very great filler game. It might be one of the lighter Reiner Knizia games I have played, in that like I don't really need to use my brain a lot. Like it's more of a, oh, I get this one, that's a good place. And maybe I'm not playing like the best strategic choices I can, but I don't feel like you need a lot of ways to think about it. So it also makes it like a lighter game for your brain.
Yes.
So it's a great game to play at the end of the night, at the beginning, like if you want something to warm up, or if you're just like, oh, we don't really want to start something, I can teach this and we can play it in 30 minutes.
Yes.
This is great for
Perfect.
that. So if you're looking for that, you can go and check the Kickstarter. If you're not looking for that, you probably have a lot of games you can already play on your shelves. That's going to be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video and it gave you anything of value, you can help us out in a big way by giving us a victory point.
And we get victory points when you click that subscribe button. You can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
And this is going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye-bye.